Welcome to another Splatoon 2 video on the channel. So yesterday a new Splatfest got announced and it is the biggest one so far. It is Squid versus Octopus. I did make a video covering this yesterday, so we'll leave a link to that video in the top right and in the description for you guys to check out as well. But I've seen an interesting theory about this Splatfest and whether it will influence the story of maybe future DLC or maybe Splatoon 3. Maybe the loser, maybe say like if it is the Octolings, if they lose the next Splatfest, then maybe in Splatoon 3, maybe they will look at the result, maybe they will go back to Octo Canyon, they will want to fight for DJ Octavio and the bad Octarians again. Maybe this Splatfest could be the Great Turf War 2.0. Maybe Nintendo could treat this Splatfest as the Great Turf War 2.0, and the loser, you will see the consequences of what team will lose in the next game or future DLC. I definitely do find this theory really interesting, and I just wanted to sort of speculate on what they could do if they did want to go down that route. But I just wanted to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comment section below. Do you think that Nintendo will do what they did with the final Splatfest we got in Splatoon 1, where the result, it meant that Callie got kidnapped, she got brainwashed? Maybe they could do the same sort of thing with this Splatfest. Maybe, so like if the Octolings lose, maybe the Octolings will not feel welcome in Inkopolis and maybe they will go their separate ways. Maybe it will mean Octolings will not be playable in Splatoon 3. Maybe the result will sort of have that sort of impact, and maybe the story could be from the point of view of the Octolings and you have to try and get redemption. You have to try and get the Inklings to trust you again. Maybe the Inklings, maybe they aren't aware of the Octolings being Octolings, just because when Pearl, when she announced that Octolings are in Inkopolis Square, she said that basically the Octolings, they've got different haircuts to the Inklings. So maybe the Inklings think that the Octolings aren't Octolings, and maybe with this Splatfest, maybe they will realise that Octolings are now in Inkopolis. But then again, we know that Inklings and Octolings, they're not necessarily sort of rival sort of groups. They can live next to each other. We know through interviews with Nogame, through Famitsu and Nintendo Life, that Inklings and Octolings aren't necessarily rivals. And plus we know before the first Great Turf War, we know that DJ Octavio and a young Captain Cuttlefish were actually friends. So I guess with this Splatfest, they could go down so many routes. So say like if the Octolings do lose, they could go away from Inkopolis and maybe we will play as the Octolings in the story of Splatoon 3 and we will get to see what they get up to when they do leave Inkopolis. But say like if the Inklings lose, then maybe the Inklings, maybe they will move away from Inkopolis Square, maybe they will go to somewhere completely different, and we will see the impact of that in the next game. Or maybe with this Splatfest, it will not have anything to do with the lore of the game. I think that is the more likely option, but wouldn't it be cool if this Splatfest did influence the lore of the game, like what the final Splatfest in Splatoon 1 did, how Callie lost, she got kidnapped, and we saw the results of that in Splatoon 2. I think I am leaning towards it not having any impact on the lore. I think this Splatfest is just to celebrate the fact that the game is a year old, but it would be really cool if it did influence the story of future DLC or Splatoon 3. That would be really cool. But I think because this isn't the final Splatfest, I don't think it will have any influence on the lore of the game. But I think it would be cool if this was treated as the Great Turf War 2.0. But then again, Splatfest although they are sort of serious in the lore of the game, I do believe they are sort of treated as like a festival. They are treated as not like a serious war. They are treated as like a sport. So I'm not really sure if this will be treated as the Great Turf War 2.0, but I think it would be cool if, so like if the Octolings lose, maybe they might not feel welcome in Inkopolis anymore. Maybe they will move away from Inkopolis. Maybe they will sort of settle in somewhere else, and we will get to play as the Octolings, and we will get to sort of see what they get up to in Splatoon 3. I think that would be really cool. Also, on the flip side, if the Inklings do lose, then maybe again you could just play as the Octolings in Splatoon 3, and Splatoon 3 will be the point of view as the Octolings. Maybe we will get Octoling sort of hosts, like not just Marina. Maybe we will get like 2 completely brand new hosts. So yeah, I'm just sort of speculating at this moment in time. It's just a theory that I have seen popping up now that this Splatfest has got announced. I think it would be cool if it did influence the lore and we did see the impact of the result of this Splatfest in future DLC. Now we know that Nagami said that they currently have no plans to do more DLC. So maybe, I don't know, maybe DLC that is out of the question at this time, just because we have only had Octo expansion only a few weeks ago. So maybe this is a more of a Splatoon 3 sort of question, and maybe this could impact on the story of Splatoon 3. I think it would be really cool, say like if the Inklings lost and maybe the Octolings, they took over Octopus Square for themselves, and we get to play as the Inklings in Splatoon 3 where they've got to settle somewhere else, and we get to see the impact of that. Maybe the Inklings, they might think, you know what, we want to take back Octopus Square from the Octolings. Maybe we will see that sort of process in Splatoon 3. But also on the flip side, if the Octolings lose, maybe they might feel unwelcome in Inkopolis. Maybe they might question like going with the Inklings and being friendly towards them. Maybe they might go back towards the bad Octarians and they might want to fight for them again. It's just really interesting how this could impact the lore of the game. But like what I said, I think the more likely option is that this will just be a Splatfest. It will not influence the story. It will not influence the lore. But Nintendo could go down so many different avenues depending on which team wins. So that is why I'm sort of excited about the possibilities, about the things that they could do with the lore of the game. I think it would be cool if this was treated as the Great Turf War 2.0 and we got to see the impact afterwards. We got to see the aftermath of this Great Turf War 2.0 in the next game. But yeah, like what I've said many times, I kind of feel like this Splatfest will just be its own sort of thing. It will not influence the story. It will just be a Splatfest to celebrate the fact that this game is now a year old, and it will not have any impact on Splatoon 3 or future DLC. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I thought it was sort of cool to speculate about this sort of thing. So later on today I will be hosting an open lobby. I will be putting times on screen now, and I will be doing the same sort of thing in a future video coming up today as well. That will be a Splatoon 2 news roundup. But I just wanted to quickly talk about this sort of thing. Definitely did really enjoy making this video, although I don't necessarily believe that this Splatfest will influence the story. It was just an interesting theory to talk about nonetheless. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I have definitely enjoyed making it. And yeah, we'll see you hopefully in the open lobby later on today. But if not, in a future video coming up today as well. But that is it for this video. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.